In Module 1, you joined a curriculum group. We're going to go to a curriculum group and find the group's resources so that we can copy lesson materials into our course. So I'm part of the curriculum 912 math. So you want to click on resources. And then you want to look for the folder that has the lesson materials. So for example, there's a course and lesson templates here where I can see what a typical course and what a lesson should look like. So if I wanted to copy this particular template, what I could do is select this particular resource, and I probably want to either add it to my course directly, or I can copy it to my resources, and that way I'll just have access to it. So I'm going to actually copy it to my course. So I have this template going forward. So I just need to find the course where I'm going to put this today. I'm going to put it here in my sandbox. And so that folder will be in my sandbox. And so what I want to do, just to show you that really quickly, and here is my lesson template. So let's say that I want to move an exact example of a lesson that was just a template. So I have a few options here. One of the things that I can do is look for the lesson material. So for example, if I teach Algebra 1, I want to find the curricular resources that have been developed. Let's say I want to be in Unit 4, Topic 9, Block 1. And so I can individually copy these items to my course. By clicking Add to Course, I can copy to my resources. So I can either do it so that I can then select all of these. And one of the things that we can do here is go ahead and add to course. And so now I can select a folder if I want to put them in a particular folder, if I've already set up my class folders for the day. If I do advanced options, I can go ahead and decide what my due dates and enable grading for all of these materials. But let's just say I'm going to add, and you can select multiple courses. So go ahead and hit add. And then what I want to do is navigate to the course where I saved it. And so I have my do now here, as well as all the other template options from the course template. And so what I need to do is make sure it's ready for RP2. So I need to edit. I need to make sure there's a due date. It has to be a weekday within this report period. So if this report period starts on the 16th, I know that this particular new now is going to be due on December 4th. I need to enable grading. I need to provide it with either my completion ungraded or one of my other categories for secondary, formative, and summative are my examples. And so I need to make sure that the Q2 is selected for your particular item. I'm still in Q1, so it's only telling me that this date is available. So check Q2. And then if I have a rubric, I would want to make sure that that is selected. You can also copy a rubric from the group and put it into your resources so it is available. And then if I have any students I need to individually assign, I can do that here. And I'd be also able to install learning objectives if I wasn't using that rubric. So here's another lesson example that I've moved over from my curriculum group. So not only do I need to edit each of my graded items, so all of my discussions, my do nows, and closings, my assignments, as well as my assessments, all need to manually have some kind of touch point. So you're going to need to add your due date, your grading, and you can add learning objectives or rubrics, and you need to make sure they're published for your students. So for assignments, which you'll want to double check a few things here. If you need to do a Google Drive assignment, don't forget you'll need to add your Google Drive document to your Google Drive and then attach that link here. Make sure you add a due date that is a weekday in this report period. Make sure you have completion ungraded or one of the other grading categories selected. Make sure you have your grading period set to Q2. And then if you need your rubrics or learning objectives attached, you can do that here as well. I highly recommend having your assignment comments disabled. They do confuse students and they do not get engagement credit if commenting on their directions. So the other thing that you'll want to look for is if you have any assessments. Just note that when you're copying them from a curriculum group, you do have to make sure that you enable the assessment. So for example, let's see here. I have an example that I copied. Let's see. Yep, here we go. So you want to hit edit and you want to make sure your submissions are enabled. You also want to make sure that you have a due date, that you have completion ungraded or one of those categories. You have Q2 selected, and if your dates do not match your marking period, the due date will trump your marking period. So you do want to make sure that you have everything aligned. So don't forget, you have to enable submissions for all of your assessments.